What is the most traditional date idea? Mini golf, of course. So for number one, we have Walkabout Mini Golf. It's essentially a mini golf course, but in virtual reality. The actual golfing gameplay is very similar to that in real life. So this is a really great opportunity to just hang out and play mini golf with your date. Number two, what's another really popular date idea? So you can actually go to the movies in virtual reality. There's a game or application called Big Screen, and it's available on the Quest 2 or on PC VR. When you go into Big Screen, there's all these different rooms that you can go into, and it can be either a movie playing or some TV shows, or you can even rent a movie to watch in Big Screen, or you can also cast your desktop to the big screen. So essentially when you're in Big Screen, it's like a big movie theater that could just be for you and your date, and you can cast whatever movie you're playing on your desktop onto the screen. You can even like make popcorn and just eat it while you're in virtual reality. So it's a super cute idea. Number three is attend a comedy show. Yes, you can actually attend a comedy show in virtual reality. One that I like is called Failed to Render Comedy Club. This one's in Altspace, and actually one of my good friends is a comedian for this comedy club. His name is Obscure Nerd VR. Now, to go to these comedy shows, it's completely free. You just have to look up when the events actually are. Number four is more for the gamer type. If you've ever played Overcooked on Nintendo, this game is basically Overcooked but in virtual reality. And Overcooked is a super cute game to play on a date or with your significant other. So Cookout, a sandwich tale, is actually the virtual reality version of this, and it can be single player, multiplayer, whatever, and you're just making this food and working together, having good collaboration in order to deliver delicious food to your customers. Number five is Zenith. Okay, hear me out. So Zenith is a VR MMORPG. Now, if you're not familiar with MMORPGs, that stands for Mass Multiplayer Online Role-Playing Game. I believe that's what it stands for. But basically, this huge fancy acronym just means that it's an online game that a lot of people can log into at the same time. Number six is going to karaoke in VR chat. Yes, you can actually go to karaoke. So when the pandemic first started, this was one of the things that I found to do, and I was going to karaoke super often. So in VR chat, if you just search in the world section, you can look up karaoke and it will just pop up. So you can either create a private instance just for you and your date, so it's only the two of you in karaoke, or you can just go into the open instances and join some random strangers and just singing and dancing the night away. Number seven is another gaming type of date idea. Now, if you've ever played Mario Party, it's super fun to play in a group setting or with a date and playing mini games. So this game is basically the VR version of Mario Party. It's called Loco Dojo. You and your date will take turns spinning the wheel in the lobby, and then that will auto decide what mini game that you should play, and then you can just play games together. So to me, this is the equivalent of going to a carnival together. While there's no prizes in this one, it's still really fun, and I'm sure that you'll have a lot of laughs playing these mini games together. Okay, so number eight is actually the equivalent of going to museums together. This is called Multiverse, and it is available on Quest 2. So when you go into the Multiverse, it's basically a hub, and there's all these separate rooms, and the different rooms branch out into these different galleries, essentially. So there's a planetarium where you can see all these different space-related things. There's even a replica of the Mars rover there, and there's usually a big screen that's playing parts of like a documentary that explains to you all the space stuff. And I'm a huge space nerd, so to me this brought tears to my eyes. It was beautiful. There's even a gallery that you can go into in the Multiverse where there's different artwork, and there's even games that you can play in the Multiverse. So to me, this is the equivalent of going to a museum, but then having a ton of museums within a museum and in virtual reality. For number nine, I could not go without mentioning this one because this is another very classic date idea in real life. So you can actually go on a bowling date in VR. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. So this one is called 4Bowl VR, and it's basically like bowling in real life, except instead you get to have these cool bowling balls that have all these different colors, and you know, this is pretty self-explanatory. Before I mention number 10, I do have some additional bonus ones after, so stick around. Okay, number 10, last but not least, there are so many online social games in VR or social worlds in VR, social applications, So these are, you know, like VR Chat, Rec Room, Altspace, Horizon Worlds, Neos VR, and I'm sure there are more that I'm missing. But essentially, if you just go into these games or these applications, there's a ton of worlds that users and the game devs themselves have actually made, and you can just go and explore all these worlds together. Honestly, that's like such a cute date idea. Now, the one thing is, because it's an open online social environment, there are going to be a bunch of other people there, but you can generally create like private instances or private worlds just for you and your date. So, okay, what do you think after hearing this? Which of these date ideas would you actually take a date on? Or do you think that VR dates are kind of weird? So let's do some behind the scenes of making this video. So I was actually trying to 3D scan Ari to bring her into VR, and it didn't quite work out. Kind of scary and also funny, I guess. So instead, I got some 3D assets from Sketchfab that I brought in to Neo. So here's one that I got that I thought looked pretty good, honestly, but the only problem I had with this one was that it looked a little bit too angry, and Ari's not this angry, you know, so that's why we didn't do that one. And then that cute little stuffed toy looking one that we saw earlier. So I know this looks a little bit weird, but these things are called textures. So I accidentally applied this texture onto this 3D asset, but this texture belongs to this dog. That's why it looks weird. So let's apply the appropriate texture to it, which is this one, so that you can see what it's supposed to actually look like. Now that I got my handy dandy material tool loaded, let me just grab this. So we got the material loaded on here, and now we're gonna apply it to the little dog. Ta-da! And this is how we got Ari. And if you made it to this part of the video, I do want to reward you with some Jazz coins. Go ahead and comment below Ari in 3D, followed by your Rally username, so that I can go ahead and gift you some coins for making it all the way through the end of the video. All right, I'll see you next time. Bye!